Hi, my name's Dan. This video is one in a series of videos I'm doing about using physics and physics settings in Unreal. And in this one, I'm going to show you how to change the gravity for the player. Now, in the previous one, we did gravity for objects, and we could change the local gravity to be in any direction we wanted. With the player, this is considerably more difficult, so we're going to restrict ourselves just to changing the amount of gravity that's applied, and we're going to create a low gravity zone. The reason why it's difficult is because of the animation on the player character. Physics is pretty much disabled for the character. There are a few things you can do. The setup I've got here is I've got a third-person template, and you'll see I've got this strange object here, which has got a white base at the bottom and this glowing green area. And this glowing green area is going to be our low G zone, low gravity. So there are a couple of things I've created. I've just created a translucent green material to create this green effect. And we've got a blueprint here which contains that base pad there, and another cube which has got that glowing green material applied to it. And that's been set so that the player can overlap. It doesn't block the player walking onto it. That's just a cube that's been used. So our scripting is going to be inside this blueprint. And the other thing that I've done is I've changed the local gravity, the global gravity for this world to about double normal by changing it to minus 2000. And just to demonstrate that, that gives actually what I think is a more realistic jump. It is not as floaty as the standard jump that you get. And this will just give us a better contrast between the low G area and the normal gravity area. Okay. So in we go. So what we're going to do is we're going to change gravity on the player when the player enters this green area. So let's go to the event graph, and we want actor begin overlap. And we want to check that it is the player before we do anything. So we're going to do cast to... and in this case, we've got, because it's the third-person template, using the third-person character. So cast a third-person character. Right. Now, at this stage, I've got in my head, I remember that I know we can apply a change in gravity, but it's to one of the components inside the character. But I can't remember which component, and I'm going to show you how to find that out. I'm going to right-click, and I'm going to change off context sensitivity here. So I want to change gravity. I can't, again, remember exactly what the node is, but I know it's got the word gravity in it. So gravity. Actually, I'm pretending I do know, but I'm kind of showing you the workflow that I went through to find this. And it's gravity scale. So set, that's cable, components. Is body gravity, set, enable gravity, scale, set gravity scale. And the thing that I can see then that's come up is that this is something that will apply to a character movement component. So that gives me the clue as to which component I want. And I'm going to click on set gravity scale. And in fact, on here, if I mouse over that, it says it needs a character movement component, object reference. So that helps me know that I want to get character movement. There we are, which is one of the components of that character blueprint. We're going to set gravity scale to, at the moment it's set to 0 by default, so that'll give you no gravity at all, 0.1. And what that does is that's a multiplier, and it multiplies your world gravity that's been set at minus 2000, and it'll set it to minus 200 instead, just for the player. Well, at the moment, as soon as they begin overlapping, it will change it permanently for the player. So what we want to do is to change it so that it's just whilst you're on this pad as well. So the way to make that happen is to have the end overlap, end overlap, and set it back to normal gravity, which would be to use 1. I can just copy and paste that whole set there. Make sure I plug that in and set that value to 1. There we go. And compile, check that that's working. That seems fine. And let's go try it out. So here I am off the pad, normal jumping, on the pad, much more floaty jumping. And if I pull out the side, normal gravity then starts to apply. And if I jump in from the side, that's less easy. Let's cover the steps again. You start to become slow down as you get into the bottom of that bit. That's less easy to do with the low gravity to get that effect. But there we go. I could move that across somewhat. Anyway, so there we go. That's local gravity. It's a nice glowing area. You could use this as a kind of uplift sort of thing. I'm just going to do a quick experiment. This has just occurred to me off the top of my head. I wonder what happens if I change that so that the gravity is negative. Will that actually make us float upwards slowly? Let's try it out. So if I change that to, let's have minus 0.3. It might be clamped so that it can't do it with a negative number. I think it is clamped. There we go, because it doesn't make us suddenly zoom upwards. But when I jump, I've got no gravity there at all until I get out of the top. And I can make that a lot higher and move myself up and use that for transport. Anyway, there we are. So that's how to change the gravity for the player character. And there's that very simple node, which is the gravity scale. And that's it from me for now.